Hey guys, welcome to a very dark video probably. I don't know whether I'll be able to fix the lighting in post or not, but this is the light I've been given today, so I'm gonna work with it because all day I've been saying that today I was gonna make it a big filming and editing day, and then today of course there's no natural light almost, so here I am stuck with this. But so, welcome to another edition of Talking Arcs. It's been a very long time since I did another edition of that. So in Talking Arcs I just talked through the ARC copies that I've read, and so the idea was for me to do this type of episode for every single ARC that I read. I have skipped a few because I just didn't have much to say about them, sadly, and I've overall just been neglecting my arcs. So time for my redemption. I have two arcs that I've just finished in this month, and so you can expect another video for the second one soon. But today we're going to talk about Ghost Music by Yu. This is a book by the author of Braised Pork. Braised Pork was another book that was kind of on my radar, and I will have to say that sadly it's kind of gone down my radar after the experience of reading Ghost Music. So first and foremost, my thanks always to NetGalley and to the publisher for giving me early access to this book. For this one, I am on time. It is coming out in January, so I have managed to finally read an arc before it's actually published, so I can bring the news out to you guys before it's released. This book is going to be published on the 10th of January 2023, and it is a book about, and it is basically like a slice of life, weird literary fiction, let's call it like that. So it is a mix between slice of life, so we're basically following everyday people and their mundane life. However, there's also this weirdness going on with mushrooms throughout the book, and that is basically what ended up being unsatisfactory to me. I love weirdness in my books, but in this case I felt like the weirdness never came to a sort of like, never came to fruition. It always kind of just stayed on the level for me. I never really fully understood what the author was trying to say, what possible symbolics were behind that weirdness, so it always just stayed weird for the sake of weird for me. But so in this one we are following a ordinary couple. The woman is the perspective from who we are following the story, and she basically was a sort of like child, not really prodigy, but her father was a pianist and she learned the piano from him, and from an early age onwards she was really dedicated to the piano and making a career out of music. However, her life turned out a little bit differently, and so at this point in time she's just a piano teacher. And so part of what the story will talk about is that sort of like coming to terms with not fulfilling your life goal type of essence. However, it's not like she's depressed because of that missed opportunity or something like that, but we do come back to that aspect of her life relatively frequently, to the extent that it really seems like a regret that at least is present within her life. So she is living an ordinary life with her husband. They are pretty pleased with the situation that they have going on. They are able to live together in a harmonious way. It's not like a super passionate relationship neither, it just seems like they mesh well together. However, their family harmony is disturbed at the moment that his mother moves in with them. And so his mother moving in with them and her expectations of them having a child together kind of push their relationship beyond the boundaries of what they're currently comfortable with and kind of raise tensions within the family. Also, his mother's presence kind of awakes certain doubts within our protagonist, as her mother refers to aspects of his past that she had never heard about. She does not know about the fact that he had a sister that they lost at an early age. He finds out through other friends that he apparently had a previous fiancée that she never heard about, and he as well is very much a closed book to her and will not open up even when she asks about these things. And so those aspects of the novel I really enjoyed. However, I also feel like there's not really a satisfactory conclusion to that aspect. It's very much slice of life, leaving us in the middle of the action, leaving us without anything really being resolved. And while sometimes that works for me, in this one it really, like, it didn't necessarily, and that's mainly because of that weirdness that I was talking about. So we kind of open up, I think, to a scene of like a dream, I suppose, of her being trapped in a room with like an orange mushroom, and then at some point in time a mystery starts being added into the story that they're receiving a box of mushrooms every sort of week, I assume, and then she and her mother-in-law prepare these mushrooms for her husband. And while we find out where the mushrooms came from, we don't find out where the mushrooms originate from. We don't find out why the deliveries at some point ends. And the whole mushroom thing to me felt unresolved, and to me just felt like, what is going on? What is this inclusion? What is this doing within this book? What is the added value of this? And there's more weirdness to come later on within the plot, but then I'm not going to go into because of spoilers. But so my main reason for being hesitant to recommend this book, or being hesitant to pick up another MU, is that at the end I was left feeling like I'd kind of gone through the motions with this book, but I hadn't really understood this book. Basically as if I've experienced the book through some sort of a fog or a cloud that keeps me from seeing the full scope, that keeps me from seeing the full story or the full meaning. And I did enjoy my time with it. I would say that I liked the writing style. I love slice of life in principle. So there were definitely elements, especially in the first half of the book, that made me enjoy the story and interested about where the story was going. But just in that second half, nothing really satisfied what I had expected out of it or what I need out of a book. And so in that second half it kind of lost me, and it became more weird than slice of life. And weirdness is fine with me, and sometimes it's okay for weirdness to have no sort of resolution, but in this one it didn't necessarily feel like I shouldn't understand the weirdness. In this one it just felt like I was too dumb to understand this book, you know what I mean? So yeah, that is ultimately my experience with this book. I would definitely say if you're a fan of weird literature, then you might want to try this out. If you're a fan of slice of life, you might want to try this out. My experience with this book is not a reflection of everybody's experience with this book, for example. I will link a review down below of Books and Bow, who also did a review for this book, and so you can kind of look at that review as well. I haven't looked yet, I'm going to look afterwards, and kind of see what their take is on this book, and then maybe you can kind of come to a conclusion about whether this book is for you or not. However, in any case, when it comes to weird literature and slice of life literature, I feel like it's so individual whether you like a particular book or not, that I would say, like, if this is your jam, then do try this one out, because at least in its writing style I definitely enjoyed the experience of it. So with that, I'm gonna end this review. Definitely let me know if you've picked up this book, what your experience was with the book, and then see you guys for the next one. Bye!